That's why it's in here. The role of acetylcholine and the symptoms of COVID-19. This is a published study from 2023. And they tell you that there's a growing body of evidence that acetylcholine reverses these scenarios. I just read you the highlight. I put this statement on our webpage so you can see it. And then Supercharged C60 is the final product I'm going to highlight inside of our foreign protein cleanse before I show you some highlighted benefits of gold. Supercharged C60, both supercharged C60, a carbon-based molecule, and the regular C60 molecules are made up of a cyclic ring structure that are commonly found throughout the natural world. Supercharged C60, many of those who have been injected with COVID-19 vaccines report disturbances in their energetic field with magnetized, and hot spots of inflammation. Supercharged C60 is a rich source of electrons and acts like a fire extinguisher to inflammation, and simultaneously, because it biodistributes throughout the body, it drives a normalization of electron flow throughout the body to normalize those magnetic fields and electrical disturbances. Supercharged C60 is recommended to neutralize spike protein, disrupt electrical circuitry of nanotech, and detoxify graphene oxide. And there's the article publishing its benefits. Here is that article. I'm not going to read this. You can go back and look at this. Its conclusions were C60 is a rich source of electrons and acts like a fire extinguisher, like I mentioned. And then copper and gold. All right, I think Jesus probably should have been brought copper also if he was born in this day and age, because copper is so significant. Copper is the #1 mineral that is lost out of our cells when snake venom hits the cells. This is why cuprous nicotinic acid, known as copper-1, is in foreign protein cleanse. Everybody who had COVID has a reduction of the amount of copper in their body, as highlighted in this study right here. The use of copper to help prevent transmission of SARS-CoV-2 and influenza viruses. Did y'all know that? Copper in different forms has been used in research and clinical settings to reduce the risk of bacterial and viral infections. They then researched all copper studies in helping to fight off all viruses. And you'll see down there, copper can eliminate pathogenic organisms such as coronaviruses, bacterial strains, influenza virus, HIV, and fungi after a short period of exposure. Does your medical doctor tell you that yet? Then it says copper seems to be an effective and low-cost complementary strategy to help to reduce the transmission of several infectious diseases by limiting nosocomial infections transmissions. Nosocomial means getting sick in a hospital from other people in the hospital. So did you know copper supplementation can reduce the amount of spread infections from one person to the next in a hospital? Well, it works for you at home too, even with every future declared viral pandemic. By the way, the foreign protein cleanse, I made it because every single pandemic from here till 2050, foreign protein cleanse will be an answer to most of the spike proteins they're going to tell you are causing the symptoms of all those other pandemics that are coming. On my website, I published this. Snake venoms deplete copper from cells and flood it into your bloodstream. Spike proteins are venom proteins, thus have the same effect in the body as if you got bit by a venomous snake. In this published research study, the effects of snake venom on blood copper levels, zinc copper levels in your blood, and magnesium levels in your blood with patients who have been bit by a snake. COVID, snake bites, identical. The results of this study, they found 40 patients with a snake bite and 80 healthy individuals in the control group were the two people they studied. Read the next sentence. There were statistically significant increases in blood levels of copper and zinc and a decreased level of magnesium in the blood in patients with snake bites when compared to healthy people who were not bit by a snake. Venom, when it hits your cells, kicks out copper out of your cells, kicks out zinc, and makes you more susceptible to infection and death from the venom proteins. When it kicks copper and zinc out of the cells and into your blood. And then magnesium is required to activate the venom when it goes inside your cells. So that's why magnesium starts to drop in your blood. The conclusion is snake venom produces significant alterations in your blood levels of copper, zinc, and magnesium in patients with snake bite, identical to what we saw with COVID-19 patients. Here's foreign protein cleanse, what it looks like. You can find it at thedrardisshow.com. There's the pricing for 1, 3, and 6 bottles if you want it. And now it's time to show you what are some of the other reasons gold, outside of COVID and foreign proteins and all viruses ever, why Wisemen gave Jesus gold as a gift. Did you know that gold had these health benefits? It's in our foreign protein cleanse, by the way. Here is a published research study that I was excited to show you. Benefits of nanogold injections to treat arthritis, particularly rheumatoid arthritis. And they did this with people who had COVID-19. The results show that in general, COVID-19 volunteers with complaints of rheumatoid arthritis pain are satisfied with nanogold injections because they reduce pain. Well, you don't have to inject gold. You can swallow gold. It's in our foreign protein cleanse. But let's keep reading. It is proven that nanogold injections increase the immunity of COVID-19 volunteers with complaints of rheumatoid arthritis. As for rheumatic arthritis complaints in general, all volunteers experienced a decrease. The decrease in swelling diameter of each volunteers differed from one another in a range of reducing swelling of joints from 20% to 36% with just gold injections. With reduced, volunteers can stand straight, walk normally, and no longer hurt when the joints are pressed. This is how they determined, wow, they're getting better. Even when they pressed on it, they didn't have any pain in a bunch of these people. All of you with arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, gouty arthritis, osteoarthritis, regular arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, it doesn't matter if you have it. You should know this about gold. It's also found in our foreign protein cleanse. You should be on it, even if you have any arthritis and no COVID symptoms. Here we go. This is what they found. The decrease in the diameter of the swollen joints is an accurate data that describes the recovery process of rheumatoid arthritis. In May, the decrease in the diameter of the joint was 20.3%, meaning that there was a decrease in joint swelling by an average of 96 volunteers by 20.3%. The swelling size of all their joints reduced by 1/5, 20%, from after when they started their injections. In June and July and August, the percentage decrease was even greater. Just the next month, the following month, next month, as they used the gold injections, they saw it reduce in June, a month later, to 25% less swelling. And then the next month, 30% less swelling for every joint with arthritis. And then they saw a reduction in the fourth month of 36.4% using nano gold injections, meaning that the joint diameter decreased and joint swelling decreased or deflated. How many of you know people who could benefit with reducing the swelling size of their joints? What kind of improvement in the quality of their life would they have if they knew about this gold's impact on arthritis? In August, only 24% of all the volunteers were still sick, meaning that more than 75% of the volunteers had recovered completely from rheumatic arthritis. Do you know anybody with rheumatoid arthritis who took a drug or a product and 75% of them no longer had any rheumatoid arthritis at all after 4 months? That's what they found in this study. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Volunteers' COVID-19 status is exposed to COVID-19 from May to August in this table. This means that volunteers are not infected with COVID-19, even though there is an opportunity to be exposed to COVID-19 in this group. This shows that the volunteers' immunity during the clinical trials is maintained and even increased. Increased immunity can be seen from the recovery process of rheumatoid arthritis experienced during clinical trials. When they reduced the inflammation and reversed rheumatoid arthritis, they saw better improvements in the immune systems of those able to fight COVID-19 patients. And it was done with just gold. That's why it's in our foreign protein cleanse. Interviews with volunteers resulted in a very high satisfaction. Volunteers are very happy with the nano gold injections. You don't need injections. Apart from reducing their rheumatoid arthritis pain, the body feels fresh and energized, as reported by those who suffered with rheumatoid arthritis before the study. Joint pain, when pressed, decreases over time. They can stand up straight without pain. They also walk normally again. The remaining 24.5% of volunteers are still sick, but have greatly reduced compared to before. Remember, 75% of all of them had reduced or reversed all the rheumatoid arthritis pain completely. 24% of them still said they were sick, but have greatly reduced rheumatoid arthritis symptoms compared to before. They feel extraordinary in their joints, and they feel much less pain and can rest in peace. What a miracle blessing. Every single person, 100% of them saw benefits. 76% saw complete remission of all their rheumatoid arthritis with gold injections. 24% saw improvement in all their rheumatoid arthritis pain. They saw less pain, better quality of life, and saw better rest. That's also in that study. I'll go back and read it if you'd like. UT Southwestern Medical Center in Texas in 2024. Gold nanoparticles reverses brain deficits in multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's. Oh, hallelujah. Did you know that benefit would come from foreign protein cleanse? 2 clinical trials at UT Southwestern Medical School showed that a suspension of gold nanocrystals taken daily by patients with multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's significantly reversed deficits of metabolites linked to energy activity in the brain and resulted in functional improvements in both parties. Do you see the value in the gift of gold they brought to Jesus? Gold, did you know, even when you ingest it, can reverse and improve all functional aspects of MS patients and Parkinson's lives? Has your neurologist told you or your loved one that? I doubt it. All you're going to hear about is L-dopamine drugs and steroids. Healthy brain function depends on a continuous supply of energy to the organ cells through a molecule called ATP. Studies have shown that in brain degenerative conditions such as MS, Parkinson's disease, and ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, this decline is much faster and more severe. Studies in cells, animal models, and human patients have suggested that halting or reversing this energy deficit could lead to a slower decline or even partial recovery for patients with these neurodegenerative diseases, says Dr. Segunya. Clin Nanomedicine, a company developing gold nanoparticle crystals into an orally administered therapeutic agent for neurodegenerative conditions, including an experimental treatment named CNM gold. 8. These nanoparticles of gold act as catalysts that improve energy production in every cell in the brain, positively altering brain cells' energy balance, a phenomenon demonstrated in cellular and animal models in previous studies. 24 patients had an average increase of energy output of their cells, compared to 10% with the other people who did not get the gold substance. Researchers found that study patients with this condition reported improved motor experiences of daily living at one point, suggesting that taking nanogold could ameliorate or make disappear functional symptoms of their diseases. None of the patients experienced severe adverse side effects linked to nanogold crystals, which is what's in our foreign protein cleanse. And there it is again. And you'll see I highlighted there, you'll see concentrated liquid gold on the supplement facts panel to the right. Scan our QR code. This is our book. We talk about the nanogold. I highlight all the research studies behind it. Did you know that nanogold, you can get the book here, go get the book if you haven't got it. Make sure you're sharing it with your loved ones. I wanted to highlight for you the benefits of all these natural substances found in nature, in our soil, and our plants, proven to help protect against foreign proteins, of which all viruses are called. Did you know before this show that gold, one of the gifts given to our Savior, Jesus Christ, did you know that gold had health benefits when ingested or injected to reverse arthritis, inflammation, improve neurological diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and MS, and Lou Gehrig's disease? If you didn't, you might want to share this presentation with all those you know and love. These are just some of the health benefits of gold. You will learn more over the next few years as we continue these presentations and discover in research studies the powerful blessings and miracle healing properties of things found in nature. That is the Dr. Ardis Show's mission, to help restore your faith in nature as God intended. I'm Dr. Ardis. God bless you. That is our presentation on just some of the highlights of why God was given the gift of gold, why Jesus was given the gift of gold by the 3 wise men. Have a great holiday season. God bless all of you. I love you and I'm grateful for all of you. I'm Dr. Ardis. We'll see you next week.